Hello, everybody. This is Tieto team here, and the slide I'm sharing is currently showing a small overview about Dynamics team in TietoEVRY. We have our Dynamics expertise in 4 different locations in Nordics, Finland, Sweden, Norway, in Baltics, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, and in Ukraine and in India. And we have 300 plus consultants altogether in Dynamics area and 100 plus Dynamics 365 certified consultants and so on. Today we are talking about the 3 topics, and these are Dynamics 365 sales, then Dynamics 365 Powerups, Dynamics 365 Power BI. First speaker will be Evgenia, then Evgenia, and Evgeny, and then Fred. That's me currently speaking. But now I would like to hand over virtual stage to Eva, who talks about the Dynamics 365 sales area. Please, Eva, take it over.
Yeah, hello. Here is the agenda for our webinar. And first presentation will be about the Dynamics 365 sales. So beneficial features of the application and tips on how to migrate your Dynamics, your CRM to Dynamics 365 Sales Cloud. The next presentation will be about the PowerApps, the use of PowerApps low-code technology, the examples or common fields of activity to automate, how we can build our first app, and the last presentation about the Power BI, how to drive business analysis using Power BI, Power BI place in Power Platform relation to other Microsoft products, and a quick demo with examples. So I'm Eva Janelevichina. I work in Tieto more than 4 years with B2B CRM energy sales solutions for Scandinavia customers. I'm leading the development team to project implementation with experience in analysis, solutions design, and consulting. And today we'll tell you about the Dynamics 365 sales and experiences of the migrations to the cloud. So Microsoft is a leader in the Salesforce automation. We can see Gartner's research with this magic quadrant, and Microsoft is in leaders box between Salesforce, Oracle, SAP. There are comments on this research. So some Microsoft strengths mentions as a clear product strategy and vision, advantages of Microsoft platform for integration and rapid deployment. Gartner recognizes the quality of the platform for building custom sales processes and comprehensive customer data. There are defined some cautions as well. One of them is reporting. Sometimes it's too hard to use and needs Power BI with additional costs. And for product functionality, Microsoft got low scores for core and non-core capabilities. Another caution is defined pricing model. So Microsoft changed it with no tiered discounting applicable. So for mid-size and large enterprise clients, this means increased prices per user per month. So let's take a look into the sales processes. All are connected between and gives a 360-degree view of interactions with prospects and customers, starting with the lead as potential customer process, with qualifying it, developing opportunities, and proposing the offers. In each of the sales processes, activities can be used and are beneficial for your daily routine to achieve any important customer task completed. Sales goals process lets to define, measure, and track goals for your organization and team. For example, your sales organization can define goals based on sales revenue for a specific territory, or number of leads created, or number of cases closed. But let's talk about the beneficial features inside the sales application. So Customer 360 View shows a full picture about the account, contact, and related information, including predictive match, scoring, and segmentation. There is ability to create custom dashboards or customize system dashboards to show desired information as soon as you log into the sales app. Another type of search is advanced find. It is the advanced way to find the records. You can build some complex queries in a super user-friendly interface and no need for technical skills. Automatically generated document and email templates makes user work easy by one click. I will show you then in the next slides and demo. Next popular feature is the editable grids. Dynamics 365 users can now make inline edits in both desktop and mobile versions. Business process flows help drive a sales process from lead capturing to invoice generation. You can call workflows on different process flow steps and add timers to streamline sales progress. Another beneficial feature, business rules, provide a simple interface to implement and maintain fast-changing and commonly used rules. For example, you can easily set or clear field values, show or hide some fields, validate data, and show some error messages, and much more. Next, the goals of security model containing role-based security, data sharing without changing the ownership, record-based and field-level security. For example, some group of CRM users are not allowed to see specific sales data. So it is possible to configure that the group of users will not see that data in the form. But let's look into some examples. So here is the trial version of the Sales Professional application. So you can easily set this environment in a few clicks, and it is active for 30 days with a demo data inside. So here we see my active accounts list. And I will show you the editable grids feature. So we can easily group these accounts, for example, by city. And if we have some day in, for example, Redmond City, we can meet these customers who are located there. Or we can easily group by account rating. If we have some offers or discounts, for example, for customers who has a rating C, we can easily see how many of them we have. Let's open some account, and here is the Customer 360 view. It is summary information about the company, the account information here, and the timeline in the middle. We can see what activities have been done. So some meetings, appointments set, or some tasks, phone calls, or emails were sent to this customer. And on the right side, we can see the contacts. Also, there is a company profile information with the marketing, billing, shipping details, and the contact preferences for the GDPR. And here are the related information. So let's look into some opportunities. Here is the example opportunity. And here on the top, you can see the business process flow. And there are 4 stages as a standard created. In each of the stage, we can see the checkpoints, what should be done to move to the next stage. And right now we are in the propose stage for 48 hours. And in total, this opportunity is active for 17 days. So this is a standard flow, but it can be easily modified by any needs, added more stages or more checkpoints into each of the stage. Next, I would like to show you some quote and the document templates, which are created by default here. So let's open the quote, and it's a quote data, the details, the products in the middle, and some pricing information. And it is a really nice feature that we can export the quote to PDF. So here is the preview of the document. It is like print quote to customer view, and it is also quote summary right here with the pricing details. And it is really nice that we have this email button here. So we can directly send the quote information with the document attached to the customer. So we just type some message here and easily send that. So we don't need to download the file to the computer, save it, and then open Outlook, attach it, and send. It is directly here. And if we open some customer overview, we can see here in the timeline that email was sent with the attachment. Next, let's look into some dashboards and summary of the information. So here are the standard system dashboards provided. So let's open the Sales Manager summary. And here are lots of charts visible. And let's look into this sales pipeline. So it shows how many opportunities we have in each of the stage. And we can easily drill down by some specific data, for example, estimated close date. So it is the date when we think that opportunity is going to be closed. And we can select the chart type. So let's take this bar chart. And here we can see that next year, April, February, we have a few opportunities which needs to be closed. And we can view which of the opportunities we're going to close and which the accounts belongs to that. Yeah, so that was a quick demo. And let's continue with presentation. And now let's come talk about the cloud and the benefits. So there is a common question why I need to migrate to the cloud and what is the added value of the cloud applications to the company. And here are some advantages of that. So you no longer need to manage and maintain servers yourself. It is a quick start of a new environment to set up. There is no application downtime for maintenance. Microsoft will automatically push upgraded versions, which include new features and bug fixes, so you are getting more in comparison to the on-prem version. Likewise, simple licensing, with paying for only what you use, also lets easily add new users or more storage with a few clicks. Knowing the benefits of the cloud, let's take a look into best practices of migrating CRM applications to the Dynamics 365 Sales Cloud. During the project experience, we single out the most recurring challenges during the migration. So one of them is a lack of guided processes and automation tools, which could give easier view about the flow of migrating to the cloud. Also noticed that there are no easy mechanisms to identify unspotted customizations or custom development, which might hinder the migration process. Moreover, customers still are using old versions of CRM, and upgrading them is costly to maintain. But what steps should be done before the migration? So first of all, some technical pre-analysis, such as current solution, and custom development analysis should be completed to estimate how long it can take to migrate current components to the cloud. Subsequently, analyze alternatives of already existing solutions. It might be that there are already built solutions fitting your business needs. Also define a data migration scope, which depends on complexity of the data, data cleaning, converting demands. So this pre-analysis allows to determine the preliminary project plan and calculate the budget. So here are migration activities, usually divided into 4 phases, but let's talk in details about each of the phases. It doesn't matter it is a totally new Dynamics customer or existing on-prem customer. The first phase, prepare testing environment, is needed for both. It is more as a technical task that this environment would be accessible for all users. So cloud lets quick setup of the environment. Next, if we look from existing on-prem customer, there is a need to get the accesses for current systems and analyze the data inside. For the new customer, it is a need to analyze the data and compare current situation with the online environment. Test data import can be done in several ways depending on complexity. Usually for existing customer, this part might be easier because the fields in current solution usually is the same as in destination. So there is no need for complex mapping. The standard Excel import can be used with Data Wizard by automatically mapping corresponding fields. On the other hand, if there is a complex data with lots of connections between, then specific tools are used. Next, if it is a new customer, then more time for data analysis might be needed. And after the test data analysis, usually there are defined the scope changes or additional development needs. So after that, basic configurations must be done, which contains business units, security groups, roles creation, and business process modifications as well. The second phase of the migration project is the actual data migration. So there is a need to analyze the scope of data to be migrated. During analysis, usually there are defined that some of the data are not used at all or is incorrect, so not valid to move to the new system. It is important to find and remove duplicates or fill in missing data. After data package is ready for migration, it is needed to consider the tool. It could be a standard Excel import or, for example, a Kingsway. Kingsway can easily retrieve and write data to Microsoft Dynamics through various write actions with many configurable options and advanced settings. And once data migration is executed, it is important to validate that data. For the testing phase, there is a need to prepare the test cases and dedicate the right people to test them. The support is important for quickly answer the simple questions, how to do, where to find, as well as instant bug fixing. This testing process going round, testing, capturing issues, supporting and solving them. And after that, training should be provided to the users. Go live is the most important. From there, new system is in use and all data going to be entered only there. Some agreed period after go live for hypercare is required to help users with daily routine activities and for quick troubleshooting. And the last phase of the migration activities is new functionalities analysis, which shows if it is possible to get that functionality configured or custom development is needed. Another activities in this last phase is Outlook configuration and also integrations with ERP and the billing systems. So following these four main migration stages leads you to smooth migration project. So let's summarize the presentation. So the flexible Dynamics 365 ecosystem provides various services and applications which you can efficiently use for your business success. Use beneficial cloud sales application to build your customer relations in any sales stage. Plan your CRM migration to start with small and after go live, complete with the integrations. Check the Dynamics solutions considering all other benefits from the Power Platform. Yeah, so thank you for listening and I hand over the presentation for the next presenter, Evgeny.
Meanwhile, participants, if you have any questions, please find the text box on the right up corner, and we will answer them shortly after the last presentation is ended. It's a little bit after 11 o'clock. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Do you hear me well? Colleagues?
Yes, you are on the
great.
line.
Hello, my name is Evgeny. I'm the consultant of Microsoft Dynamics and PowerApps. I'm in charge of all the automation, like transforming the business with automated process, like removing Excel from the business and transforming them into the real beautiful application. And today we are going to talk about Powerups. It's exactly what helps me in my way. We'll talk about what is it, how to automate any business process using Powerups, and what types of applications can be developed using Powerups. And first of all, I want you to answer the questions. How many times a day do you open an Excel file in order to populate some important information in daily processes? I suppose that probably often because it's a daily routine. And now imagine you don't need to use Excel or exchange them for populating by different people. You just need to go into the application and fill in the necessary information in several fields and click just one button. And this application works on all mobile phones, on tablets, browsers, and even could be embedded in Teams or SharePoint. It really makes life easier. Moreover, I'm sure that every company has many processes to be automated, and all these processes could be easily and quite quickly automated via PowerApps. So what is the PowerApps? Let's run through the types, key features, and capabilities of this powerful tool. The agenda in its classic form for today are get to know the technology. I'll provide some explanation about the ecosystem where PowerApps are and key features and types. Then I will explain how we can build our first application and what we need to keep. What we need to know before development. There will be brief but important key points that you should know and take into account. And the last point is an example of application and the common fields of activities that could be automated thanks to the PowerApps. So let's start with short overview. So PowerApps is a part of Microsoft Power Platform with several products which easily integrates into the huge number of products and services that we're using actually right now, because we're using PowerPoint. It is the same Microsoft application. Also, Power Platform is located in a single Microsoft ecosystem and make it easy to connect with Dynamics 365 and Office 365 packages like Outlook, Exchange, Teams, and SharePoint, and with ERP systems like finance and operations, thanks to integrations. And finally, of course, Azure. It's a powerful cloud platform with a lot of capabilities inside. And the last point, PowerApps has its own Dataverse database that allows you to securely store and manage data used in business applications. So what is directly the PowerApps? It is a low-code app building platform that easy to customize, scale, and maintain. In general, the Power Platform product line includes PowerApp that I'm going to talk about right now. PowerBI, this is the thread part that going next. Power Automate is a cloud-based workflow automation service, and Power Virtual Agents, it is a constructor for creating various chatbots. But today I will only talk about PowerApps. So let's move forward and consider the main PowerApps feature. It is low-code principle. Okay. Everyone who has ever been involved into product implementation knows how it's difficult to survive to the end in the battle between standard part of customization and custom coding. A huge part of this battle is occupied by the possibility to quickly and easily customize without deep specific programming skills. Almost all, you will say that this is impossible, but not with PowerApps. PowerApps is going with so-called low-code technology that allows you to easily and quickly set the necessary interactions. So let's take a look what low-code platform are all about. Low-code platforms are the platforms that make it easy to build applications thanks to drag and drop or selecting with mouse ready-made functional blocks using constructors and editors of the forms. In this case, the data types is predefined in advance. The issue of data security has also been resolved by providing like role-based access to the data. Here, Excel-like formulas are allowed as well, and the most important, almost without programming. So, low-code platform is the fast and easy to design, deploy, and use in business applications. Moreover, if you want to try any product with low-code approach, you are ready to build your POC fast and with minimal cost. And what's about slide? As you can see, according to the Gartner Magic Quadrant, it is an international reputable IT consulting company. Powerups is located in the upper right corner, in the corner of the leaders of low-code platforms in the world, and at the same time, the platform is rapidly developing and improving because the several platform updates are releasing per month. Okay, now you're familiar with the main Powerups benefits. It's a low-code platform approach. So let's take a look into what inside the Powerups and which modules it hides from us. The Powerups consist of Canvas, model-driven, and portals. Canvas involves the development of applications via free arrangement of data on the screen. It's like similar, like how to create a slide in PowerPoint. You can simply drag and drop items into the canvas and apply Excel-like formulas for interactions between them. The model-driven apps, it's a model-based application development. It involves placing elements in a ready-made business interface and works only with the Dataverse as a database. And Power Portals are the low-code development of externally accessible websites, let's say that allow users outside of your organization to log in with different credentials, create and view the data in the Dataverse, or even browse the content anonymously. The key features of the Powerups are strong building platform that allows you to simplify development thanks to low-code approach. It has own connection to Dataverse database, or you can easily go with any other database. It has out-of-the-box interface called model-driven, and also it can be done with mobile or tablet interface, and in the background, in some cases in front, we can use business process, business rules, and plugins that Eva said before. And as you understand, all of these key features emphasize the diversity and simplicity of the Powerups. So let's move forward and try to figure out the interface we can work with. As you know from the previous slide, we have three types in Powerups, which have their own features. Commonly, we use two of them in all implementation. It's Canvas and model-driven. So let's take a deeper look at these two through the design angle. In fact, we have two approaches in design. The first is ready-made. The second is totally free for your ideas, but both of them have pros and cons, so I propose to check them quickly. Canvas has a variety in devices on which it reproduces and applications in which it is built in, but at the same time, the model-driven has a standard layout that can be displayed on all the devices. The second feature is the variety in the arrangement of elements on the form. In Canvas, you are practically not limited by anything, but in the model-driven, we are quite limited, but at the same time, we are standardized, and this leads us to simplify it and speed up the visual part of customization. The next point will be the sets and collections available to us in the applications. On the one hand, Canvas collections are more flexible and can visually more accurately adapt to the requirement, but at the same time, the model-driven will be like ready-made and takes into account years of user experience and offers advanced settings for views or forms, for charts, and so on, right out from the box. And the last point is, of course, the atomic level of design. There are icons and multimedia. The Canvas is 100 steps ahead, since it can more accurately and beautifully display designed elements such as icon or any multimedia elements, for example, like galleries, but at the same time, it requires sufficient effort to adjust. So, as you can see, we don't have the compromise between two approaches, but now we are familiar with pros and cons of both of them. The next one, PowerApps feature, is the wide range of ready-to-use formulas that we can use without any specific knowledge. Let's find out what functions are available to us in application. In fact, we have a set of predefined functions that we can use to customize our application. All these functions are described in official Microsoft documentation, but considering the approach to their implementation, you will notice that all of them are quite straightforward. So some of them you can see off the screen, and they look like Excel formulas or some logic expressions. And in my personal point of view, everyone who will try these formulas to develop any simple applications will not face many difficulties when considering them. So now we know the types and how it's easy to code thanks to PowerApps. Now let's take a look into how we can make our application friendly to our system, of course. As you can see, we have a variety of ready-to-use connections in our kit, but and we can use these connections right out of the box. If any other connections you need, you can create your custom one. For example, the most popular connectors is the connector to Teams that represent in this kit. And this connector helps us to send the messages. It's really straightforward. Just use the connector, specify the receivers, and create a button to send with. So it's easy. Just try it. Okay, now let's move on the part where you can create your personal application and what you need to know. The entire previous part was about what PowerApps, about types, about interfaces, and how you can connect it with any series of application. But now I'll tell you about what exactly very strongly impact into development. First of all, it's non-functional requirements, of course, and what you should take into account. It is number of users. Definitely, it's definitely important part, because if you have more than, for example, 50,000 users, the PowerApps is not your case. The second one, the number of records. It has impact according to the approach. If you are using, for example, SharePoint as a database, you must take into account the number of records with unique permissions. The next one is layout. If you choose the Canvas application, you should choose the layout. It should be like web, tablet, phone, or something like this. Moreover, you should know if your application should be built into the SharePoint or Teams, because you can do it easily, of course, and you take this into account. The next one is a mode. You must define, do you need offline mode? If yes, it is also should be accounting during the implementation. The last one is the licenses on the board. You have to understand if you have appropriate Office or Microsoft license, for example, E5 or E3, you're ready to develop your first application. So just try. The second point is the technology you may have inside your applications. I'll not spend a lot of time to explain whole range of capabilities, but the most important is to understand, will it be enough to develop your app just with standard? Just believe there are a lot of flows, rules, workflows, business process flows, PCF controls you can use. All of these you should take into account as well. One more point is the integrations, of course, that you need inside your applications. And if you're talking about integrations, it is almost always custom connectors. And the third point of functional requirements. It's definitely not the topic of this webinar to cover how to collect the functional requirements, but I'll just mention that they are important. Okay, one more thing you have to take into account is the complexity. I can divide the complexity into 3 points. It's like design, business logic complexity, and the last one, UI complexity. design, it could be simple canvas or simple business interface of model-driven or even complex canvas, whatever you need. Business logic complexity. If you have a lot of rules with displaying or hiding fields or device security model, it's definitely model-driven or complex canvas. The last one is UI complexity. It's what I explained before. It's beautiness with possible any PCF or complexity or custom predefined model-driven, of course. Here you can see the table with interfaces comparing. We've already discussed this point, but here the notes is the most important part. As you can see, the best approach for POC is canvas. If you don't need any visual beauty effects, model-driven is your choice. And custom components for very specific requests and demands is the PCF components. Now we are ready for security. It is the most important part for the development, of course. You can choose whatever you want, but if your security model does not reflect to the demands, it is bad application. First of all, you need to know for that approach. You need to know that approach with standard connectors, like with SharePoint. It lead you to use SharePoint security model with its unique permissions, and it is quite limited. So you have to define the application type when you try to build your first application. The best approach, of course, is a Dataverse as a database with its own security, where we have business unit, teams, security roles, field security, application security, some form security, and many others. And if you decide to go with free Canvas plus SharePoint security, you will be quite limited in this security capability. So it is important part before you start your application. And the sweet part, of course, is the licensing. Here we have two options, embedded and standalone. Embedded, it's mean included inside your Office or Microsoft package. There you have a lot of limitations and only standard connectors on a board, for example, with SharePoint, and you can use only Canvas applications. The standalone licensing, it's per app or per user plan. There you have no limits in connectors and can use the custom one, but you have the limits with the number of applications available. For example, one for per app plan, but unlimited for per user plan. The price and other limitation you can find in official documentation, and you can your current agreements with Microsoft. So let's move forward. And now you're familiar with the all points and ready to start, but you want to see how it could be built or try ready applications that just to feel the technology. So you have this possibility, of course. You can try to test the templates. There you have a lot of ready built applications like task management system or booking application. Just try it. It is on the Power Platform Admin Center. You can just click on create the application from the template and use it right out of the box. And it is probably the last slide in this part of presentation. And here I collected the most popular fields of activities or processes you easily automate with PowerApps. These are document management, of course, some kind of reservations of workplaces like parking lots, resources or inventory, some kind of internal portal with useful info. Business process automations like business trip requests, vacation approvals, or maybe some newsletters. Of course, it could be audits, questionnaires, decision making, voting, maybe some status monitoring, or like employee location or manufacturing process control, or for example, work in fields. These are the small list of activities you can automate quick and easy thanks to low-code PowerApps technology. The best way is to start with POC and then grow up with the full project. Now I want to show you the example of the application. It is the internal applications of document management system. It is the canvas applications. As you can see, it is a lot of beautiness, like colors, like header, like, I don't know, some content, buttons, filters, and so on and so on. This is not model driven. This is the canvas. You need to separate these two applications, as I said before. Here you have some, I don't know, some tabs. You can create your own record of documents, choose the agreement, direction type, and so on and so forth. This is just an example. It is not full functionality. Here you can filter, search, or for example, I don't know, open existing document, check the fields, or for example, go to the process and check the steps to approve this document. You can approve the client, you can delete even this document, and so on. You can see that you can drill down to the approval, and you can see that we have 3 executors, and there's acceptance criteria, like all of these users should accept this stage. Or for example, for this stage, we need just a quantity, 2 of them. Or for example, the third one, it is the percentage of users that need to approve this document. This is canvas applications. It is free arrangement of fields, of modules, buttons, forms, and so on the screen. But now I'll show you the model-driven application. It looks like Dynamics 365, because actually this is the part of Dynamics 365. Here you can see the business interface, the some columns and some headers are predefined. You can change, for example, like colors, or for example, the create your own button with red color. You can create just button with small icon. You have the list, you have the filtering, you can open any record, and you have the list of fields, the subgrids, the tabs, and so on and so on. You can just define the number of columns here, or for example, the number of types and the fields, free arrangement on this, but you can, for example, highlight this field somehow. You need to code, or for example, it's impossible in almost cases. Also, you have some areas like sitemap, and if we are talking about these applications, this canvas application, it relates with this Dataverse database, and for example, you can easily create new record, like new document, new status of the document. Sorry. So hope now you understand the difference between the canvas and model driven, and I hope you will start with POC, and it's really easy. And finally, what I would like to say is, like, it's really easy to build the application via PowerApps. You really don't need specific knowledge to build a simple app. All the points I mentioned before are important, and you must take them to account, and start, of course, from POC and define it's exactly what you expect. Of course, security, it is the most important part, and spare no money for license if you really need the wide security model. So that's all from me, and the transformation from Power Excel sheet to the true PowerApps. Hope it will be useful, and thanks for listening. And I give the word to Fred, who will tell you about how to analyze all the data populated inside my PowerApps. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Evgeny.
Fred, are you ready?
Yes, I'm here. So I'll share my slides. And now it's some minutes left. I'll try to squeeze into 20 minutes these PowerApp topics, Power BI topics, in addition to PowerApps. So, but let's get rolling. And I remind you that please questions into this chat box. There is some questions and answers already, so we'll look it over after this presentation. But yes, about Power BI. Power BI or BI solutions themselves are usually, if you start to implement some business application or business solutions, typically the first one you should think if you start any development or implementation to get understanding what you want to get out of that. And then it's the last thing what would be realized or went into live after, let's say, CRM or ERP solution is built up or Power App solution is ready. Then you can start to realize what is available for analysis and what should be done there. So we have shown the Gartner Magic Quadrants also for sales solution, dynamic sales and Power Apps. So we have also Dynamics Power BI related Magic Quadrants available here, and you can see that Microsoft is also a pretty strong leader in by Gartner measuring in BI systems. And what the Gartner has brought out about this is that strength in Power BI area are good alignment with Office 365 and Teams. They are linked together, working together, switching data automatically to each other, data from Excel's using Power BI from Teams and so on. Price and power combination, you would get very good functionality with pretty reasonable pricing. Quite wide functionality area is available also for free, and scope of and product ambition. The scope of the product is pretty wide, and that's why Microsoft is mentioned as a leader in this segment, and covering all different areas of the modern BI solutions, including artificial intelligence, machine learning, and so on. And there are some questions as well. There are Power BI on-premise version. If you don't want to use cloud offering at all, then you can put it into your own machines, but it can miss some late functionality, which will be included into the on-premise version, let's say month or quarter later. So this is brought out as a one caution here. Then it works on Azure platform only. No other cloud services is available for Power BI solution. And content promotion and publication, this is how you make available your reports. This Gartner investigation is made a year ago, and as far as I know, there have been quite improvement in this area in Power BI. So the content publication is also should be much better than a year and a half ago when this Gartner measurement was done. Quick overview how and where we fit, talking into Dynamics 365 ecosystem here. So the circle here are this Power Platform. Evgeny talked about PowerApps. This is building block here. Power BI is situating here in this picture. Then we have the Power Automation and Power Virtual Agents, as also Evgeny mentioned. And here are some business applications like Dynamics 365 ERP solutions and also CRM solutions, what Eva talked about. And below here are some base components just one example how everything works together. Let's imagine that we have dynamic sales implemented for our sales. And there we have all these opportunities and customer information, but we need some data to add to the customer. Let's say some you don't have marketing data in your CRM. You have, let's say, marketing uses for some reason Excel files for marketing campaigns, and you want to integrate it with sales data and analyze it in Power BI. Then you can use these Powerups to enrich your Dynamics data with the marketing campaigns, for example. These common data service, or now it's called TietoEVRY. These are the middle layer which synchronizes the data from Dynamics 365 sales and between Powerups. This is a data model where it's easy to change and add the data into the one and single database. And this is data connectors are between Dynamics 365 and Powerups to get all the data together. So if we have this Powerups and data enrichment done, we can use Power Automate to say that, okay, we have new marketing campaign or new client registered in 365 or new marketing campaign in Powerups written here. So Power Automate can look if we have new data and send you immediately email, please go to Powerups, for example, and register the campaign to the new clients. So this is automation part. And if the Power Virtual Agents are made available to get feedback from your client side regarding your marketing campaigns, then it's also registered in the Common Data Service or TietoEVRY with the new name. And let's say artificial intelligence can do the sentiment analysis, and all the data will be available for analysis here in Common Data Service. And then the Power BI can get data from different areas, from Dynamics, from Powerups, from Power Virtual Agents, and give you a complete view of the picture here. So this can be one example how this everything works together. Okay, but let's go quickly ahead. Few words about different areas of Power BI itself. So first we have a Power BI desktop. This is where the developers build their Power BI reports. There are connectors which are used to connect the Power BI service to the different data. Then the ready-made these reports will be uploaded to the Power BI service. This is a cloud service hosted by Microsoft Azure. If you need some data from on-premise files or on-premise databases, then there is need for data gateways, what make your on-premise data available for the Power BI online service. And then it's access part, different laptops, telephones, tablets. There are different screen sizes. You can do the different layout to the reports, so you can easily view and drill down to your data. So, okay, but now let's switch to the demo to show how this everything works together. And my demo scenario is actually built on the idea that, let's say, I want to start business in Estonia. I want to see how the Estonian companies are working, in which areas are what companies, and there should be available some data for Estonian businesses. And I will go to the tax office page. Estonian tax office is EMTA. I'll switch into English to so everybody can understand. And I know that there should be some open data available. Yes, statistics and open data. and it's here. And I see that, okay, I have taxes paid, turnover and size of workforce in Q3 2021. What's there inside this Excel file? Let's download it and open it. Let's see what's there. Oh, seems quite interesting data. Names of the companies, where, in which area they are, then making their business, where they are situated in Estonia, state taxes, labor taxes, turnover, and number of employees. Okay, let's analyze it. And there are some 100 and close to 150,000 records per quarter. Okay, let's try to import it. I'll take this URL, which points to this Excel file, copy link address, and open my Power BI. If you open the Power BI, it's looks like this Power BI desktop. It's free. You can download it if you search it from Google, for example, download Power BI desktop. Get data from another source. In our case, this is this EMTA tax office page. I will search for web, as this connector is web related. We need to use, okay, this is our web connector, and I simply paste the link here and see what happens. Well, it takes few seconds, finds the Excel file and shows us the data as we saw in the Excel. So we understood, find the data. Okay, it seems that the data is the same, but okay, this field is maybe too long. I want to rename it for my analysis, and I don't see the date data here. So it's Q3. I want to distinguish. Let's say I want to measure 1 and 2nd and 3rd quarter. So I want to transform the data a bit, not load immediately to the for analysis or for report building. So it opens, if I want to transform the data, then it comes to the data transform page in Power BI desktop and loads first 1,000 rows of the data. So I want to change the name, shorter one, EMTA code, for example. And if I hit the enter, then you can see that one step for the data change added here. So here you can see this is the initial data from the Excel file, then it's navigation to the Excel data, then the column headers are recognized in the next step, and it's step by step, it goes better. Now what else I want to see do is the register code is a number here. Actually, I know that it shouldn't be the number because I don't sum up the register number. Let's change it back to the text. Yeah, make the change. Replace the current recognition. And I want to add here a column, a custom column with a date, date name, date, and I'll put date here, just first day of the 3rd quarter. It should be like that. And I have date column here, and I make it as a date here. Well, now everything looks fine. And this is my query here, the first query named data. I add here Q3 data. And I want the data, the same data for Q1 and Q2 as well. Let's duplicate this query, what I just wrote. Let's take it for Q2. Then I go to the web page. I see expand all. Q2 data is here, also in the same web page. I grab the link where it points to the right Excel file and need to change the source. you can see the settings are here. If I click on this button here, it opens the initial place where I can change which Excel is searched in the web. And one more thing I need to change here is this custom color code, which shows us the starting of the quarter. This is the second quarter, which starts with April, not in July. Okay, and for first quarter is the same. I can duplicate it. The same query. First quarter, and change is the same. I will grab the first quarter link from here, replace it in the source like this, and say that the first quarter is starting at 1st of January. And that's it. Now I have 3 different tables with 3 different quarter data. I can easily add this as one table, having well, okay, this is yes, transform data, and sorry, it's under mere append queries, append as a new query, and 3 or more tables. I have 3 tables. Let's take these all tables and append it to one table with all 3 quarters data. There are some data privacy questions. Since it's open data, there is no need to specific data privacy configurations. I just ignore the privacy levels right now. And then it will be loaded here. A few seconds. And I can start to build visuals in Power BI. So this is kind of data transformation part. First part always if you start the Power BI or reporting stuff. I rename this like a data. I don't need these 3 tables in the report building area. I just need the consolidated data here. I will say that don't load these into my report. I need just the summarized data here, and apply and close. It closes the data working screen and leads us to the report building screen. So now it loads a little bit more than 400,000 rows. Let's say it's 430 or something. I tried it before, of course. Takes a few seconds. Works pretty quickly though. And soon I should have, my data here. This is the visuals part, and here I can see my data table available with the columns, what I have seen already in data loading view. Let's say I want to analyze the turnover of Estonian companies. I grab the turnover, get here in the canvas. So by default, Power BI uses this bar chart. I will change into a rectangle chart. It's all Estonian companies turnover in this year, 69 billion. I want to divide this by the county. So I can say that in Harju County, it's most of the turnover, then Tartu, Harju without Tallinn, and so again. The different areas in Estonia, and I want to say that about the business area. Let's say I can change the view from here. This is by business area: manufacturing part, wholesale part, information and communication, construction, and so on. This is kind of overall view. I want to see the company names and numbers as well. let's say I grab for the table here, name, registered number, name, turnover, and number of employees. Number of employees, by default, PowerBI wants to sum it. I say that let's take average because they are registering each quarter that they have 10 people, let's say, then it's summed up to 30, but average people is, let's say, still the 10. So I'll make this change here. I can do it. And for the time-wise, let's divide this quickly into the quarters. I want to see turnover again by the quarters. Let's use this bar chart and bar chart with a line chart, so I can have also the number of employees here as a line value and say that this is not sum and average again, and go down by sorry, this is turnover. Date is missing. I want to see it by quarters. I grab the quarter here and pull it here. So now it's all Estonian companies' revenue by quarters, and I can see that the whole average number of employees in the companies are 7.9. If I want to see Estonia's biggest company, let's say, I can filter it by turnover, Estonian Energy, average number of employees are 1,000 in this business unit. If I click it out, so it shows the Estonian Energy data in comparison with all data. I need to change the filtering a bit. I change that. Please do not show it in comparison, but filter it out for both here as well. And so I can now see if I check the concrete company, how it's their turnover and how it's their people count. And if I want to see, let's say, in Tartu, how it's going in Tartu, then the biggest companies in Tartu, all the companies consolidated turnover and average number of employees here, and I can see how it goes ahead. I can also, let's say, drill down to the Tartu area, drill down. Now it's Tartu and all the companies which are registered in Tartu, how it Tartu business is divided by these business areas. And that's it. As simple as that, pretty quickly, and we can have pretty powerful analysis. So I have finished it. I will save it and upload it to the service. Let's publish it. He asked to save it before. Let's say MTA and today's date 12/09. That's it. And now I will load it up to this Microsoft service, data service. And this report will, after a moment, appear in my data service. Yes, publishing. Okay, I see it already there. Success. This is the newly created report. This is my report where I tried if it works good. Yep. And I will open it. I see the same picture. We just created this report. I can also share it to the world, to everybody. Publish to web, public. Yes, it's fine. Publish. And now this code is available for everybody. I will send this code to your chat in this meeting. And so you can immediately go ahead and see what you can see regarding Estonian business in this year. So that's it. Thank you for time. Just quickly to conclude, what we have talked about Power BI is that, well, key takeaways. Power BI is strong leader in Power BI industry with extensive functionality. We have rich free functionality. Professional functionality is available for $10 per month. It's a little bit less than 10 euros. And premium functionality is $20 per month. Then we have a strong BI Dynamics ecosystems where BI is strongly integrated, as I told small example before the demo. All the Power Platform, PowerApps, Power Automate, and Azure Cloud Platform also links with the Dynamics ERP and CRM systems. And user-friendly, easy to work, and no much code needed from starting and getting quite good overview about the data you have in your different data sources, databases, Excels, and so on. Worth a try. Go to PowerBI.Microsoft.com, download the app, and you can try it by yourself, free and pretty easy to start with. That's it for my side. Thank you. And there are some examples from our companies which we have made in Baltic states, the projects with Metsa, UPM, and TietoEVRY from themselves. We are using Power BI, and our team in Latvia is supporting this, so we have pretty good knowledge about this technology already. Thank you very much. And that concludes our today's seminar or webinar. So we have quite a number of questions here available. I answered some of them, and Evgeny, there was some questions I mentioned, noticed before. You already have.
Yeah, I already
answered these. Okay. Do we have any questions which do not have answer, or somebody wants to comment here?
Actually, no. I just provide some short answers to this question. But for example, regarding how the Dynamics CRM and PowerApps can be used together, it is common question actually, because we can build in the Canvas application inside Dynamics 365 in any form. For example, like web resource or any dashboard, and we can use both of them. So it's the common for all the customers that we face. It is the common request. And for example, like specific populating data, like in editable grids and something like this, it's really easy and it's interesting because Dynamics has standard interface, but sometimes you need something more.
Yeah. Okay. It is not one product. It's quite a family of products which working together, and that's a strength also. What we can see actually if we start to build systems. Okay, but if there is no more questions, then recording of this webinar is available shortly after we end here, and send it out the participants all together with Q&As, and you can just use the link I will share to you to look at how Power BI quick demo looks like, how it works, and please keep in touch with us and ask the questions if it's something in these areas or in other Dynamics areas in Microsoft ecosystem brings some interest to you. So we try to help you as usual. If there's no questions, Thank you very much, and we can close this webinar.